Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I am your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. Steve, good morning to you. How are you doing, man?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, bro.
I can't complain. Not that anyone would listen regardless.
Yeah, I know I certainly wouldn't.
That's definitely what I was getting at.
I'm going to lock in.
But I'm good, man.
Good. I'm going to just lock in because I just want to let everyone know I've taken some pre-workout as opposed to normal coffee. So if I'm ranting or if I'm locked in on stuff that doesn't matter, that's why. So just a friendly heads up to everyone.
Kyle. Everything matters. Everything you say matters.
Oh, man, you know what? I appreciate it. You know what matters, though, is that performance yesterday, because we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, maybe even last week. How many games have we put 4 goals plus in the net? And we counted it out. It was maybe like 3 or 4.
Yep.
Yesterday, we put 5 past them. Such a crucial game yesterday, not just for the win of the table, but just for the confidence of the team. You know, we could talk about the defensive lapses, of course, but 5 goals, and you're looking at pretty much good performances from everybody, I would say. Defensively, maybe some question marks, but how are you feeling about the game yesterday, dude?
Not great.
Really?
If I'm being honest. So
Okay.
Anytime you score 5, you're going to win for the most part. So, but that was a goal. A game that was a must win and we should win. So they did their job offensively. Van Dijk, I saw somewhere Van Dijk scored like 3 goals in the last 5 or something. Like it's nice to get some contribution from other folks, especially when you got guys like Salah that aren't in top form. And so the problem that I have, Kyle, and I can share my screen. Let me see.
Go ahead. Oh, it depends what you're looking for, because I already have. Yeah, I had that exact thing up already. So let's do it. That's crazy.
All right.
Zoom in on that bitch.
See this? Okay. Yeah.
Zoom in on that.
Is that better? It seems really big, no?
No, it's better.
Okay. Because like what I'm seeing in the
you can't get close. You can't get too close. You can't get too close. Yeah, I know it's weird. It's delayed. I don't know.
Zoom in and zoom out.
Hold on a second. Oh, hold on. I know what it is. Okay. Hold on. There it is.
There we go.
It was sharing mine. That's what it was. Because I have the same exact screen pulled up.
Yeah. So I don't even know. What is this? Just Google results.
Yeah, Google results.
Sick.
Fucking AI.
Here we go. Google soccer results. Okay.
What's your problem with the game, Steven?
This right here. Possession 50-50. Shots on target 5-6. And this 2 goals conceded.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Okay. 2 goals
score
conceded.
5, you're going to win. But if we played just like average or even above average, this could have been a draw. This could have been a loss. We played great offensively yesterday. We had way more chances. We could have scored 8. Rio, Nioni at the end there. They both could have scored. But 50-50 possession with West Ham. And look, West Ham stinks, but they still have legitimate players. And they've got a decent squad. So I'm not surprised that they're tough or that they can score on us, things of that nature. It's just 50-50 possession and almost the same amount of shots on target. I don't know if that's what I like to see. And that's why I don't love the match yesterday. I love that we scored 5. No one's going to complain about that, obviously. I think the other thing is, in the announcers on USA, we're talking about this throughout the game. We lead the league in possession. We have plenty of possession, but a lot of times it doesn't result in anything, any final product. Yesterday, it seemed like we were more willing to just go for it and just throw bodies forward and score. And so maybe that's why these possession stats aren't what they normally are week in, week out. However, overall, we got the 3 points. That's what's most important. We scored 5. I think Gakpo's confidence got boosted a bit yesterday. I think it's good for Neoni to get on. I think Rio showed that he still deserves to get more minutes. And then, of course, Ekatike still flying. McAllister seems to be getting more involved. I saw McAllister pressing in the 95th minute yesterday. Just workhorse mode. And he seems to be healthy. So, yeah, I mean, it's good, especially with Wirtz out for a bit. It's good to see him back in top form. Ekatike still clicking. Virgil's on a roll. Cody got a confidence boost. Frimpong comes in, makes something happen right away. Young guys get on. So overall, the game was good. I just thought that the numbers speak a bit different than the result. And yeah.
I think you're not wrong. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and it's actually painstakingly even, aside from the total shots. I mean, shots on target, like you said, 6-5. Possessions literally 50-50. Passes are virtually identical. Pass accuracy is virtually identical. Fouls, the only other big different stat-wise is the corners. 10 corners to 5 for West Ham. And a stat you'll see floating around social media right now is we have the most goals from set pieces since the new year. I think it's 7.
I actually didn't know that, and that's insanely massive.
Yes, and I think another point with that, I don't know if I'm making this up, but I think we fired our set piece coach.
Yep.
Yes. So since then, I think we saw it with McAllister's goal. I want to point this out because that looked like a training ground set piece. I don't think that was lucky bounce. I mean, Ekatike, I think it was Ekatike or Gravenberch. It was one of them. Just taking that down and laying it off to McAllister. McAllister had a just beautiful chance. Those are the kind of set pieces I want to see. And but anyways, back to your original point about how you're not really impressed with the game yesterday. At this point, Steve, get me a win. I don't care how we win. I wasn't impressed with the Nottingham Forest match at all. Right? I mean, we had to get kind of lucky at the end there. This was a match where if you took away the 2 West Ham goals, it's that's the only thing I'm looking at just overall, where I'm thinking to myself, we shouldn't have let in, any goals. But if you look at Souček's goal, right, that was honestly just a kind of lapse in awareness of where your man was. I mean, he kind of just found his way in, had a tap in. It was a good cross. But outside of that, I mean, Allison actually, no, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm talking about it. Allison made some really crucial saves, at least 2 that come to mind. Really just purely reactionary saves that should have been goals. So, yes, that's concerning, but defense has been a concern all year, where my biggest thing is we haven't scored goals. And like you said at the beginning, if we score 5 goals, we're going to win. Doesn't matter who we're playing. So I'm taking the positive from this match. You put 5 past a keeper who I don't even know who the keeper was, but you had set piece goals. You had Ekatike with Ekatike was just immense yesterday. And Soboslai playing in a 10, didn't you think that was he just fit into that role seamlessly? He's like, thank God I'm back to playing where I normally play or where I like to play. I thought he was really, really crucial in advancing the ball yesterday and getting things rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. You can stick the guy anywhere. It's incredible.
But he's been used so much at right back this year, and maybe even, I don't think he's played through the middle that much. Not that I can remember, but with Wirtz out, Soboslai is the guy. He's the engine. And when you put him in the central position, I mean, he really does well creating. So that's what I feel like. I'm just happy with the result. I'm happy that we scored 5. I think that does good for everyone's confidence, not just Gakpo or, Ekitike or whatever, just the whole team, the team as a whole. I do want to say, though, that Rio at 17 is kind of reminding me what Sterling was doing at 17. I think Rio, and I think everyone agrees, should be playing more, right? We're starting to see him play a little bit more since the new year. I know at the beginning of the year, he had those like 2, 3, 4 appearances, and then he hadn't really played. But I think hopefully Slot's seeing what he has in this guy, because Rio's he'll take anyone on. And it's not just hollow, dribbling. Like, he gets into dangerous areas and he'll put shots on net. He'll cross the ball. Rio's a good player. Rio's a really good player, Steve.
He's excellent. And I actually was meant to text you in the group that we have on the side the other day, because Slot just keeps getting peppered with questions about Rio.
Yeah.
And he's like, one of the reporters was just like really blunt and was like, what does he have to do to get more minutes? And I don't love Slot's answers about this. I feel like
what did he say?
Normally, I'm going to tell you, but I feel like Slot normally is like pretty fair with his interviews, and like he tries not to get too hot or too cold or divulge too much information. He just keeps it high level and professional, which is, you can't ask for much more than that. But he said, like, people will say that they're not seeing Rio enough, but they're not taking into account all the times he's played. And he started bringing up like Champions League and the cups and all this stuff. And it's like, no, dude, like Rio should be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might be our best option on the left. And so he just kind of beats around the bush, and he says, like, he's come a long way and he still needs to develop, and there must be something that Slot doesn't like about him, maybe from like a defensive standpoint, or like tracking back, or maybe just like maturity, pedigree, experience, where Gakpo's played in the biggest games you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I get that Gakpo is first choice. I get it. But like, a little rotation never hurt anybody. And Rio deserves to play. Every time he comes in, something happens. He glided past 2 defenders yesterday.
Yeah.
Like he could do it in his sleep. And Slot's answers are just concerning, because it's like, it's almost like based on what he says, Kyle, it almost feels like he's playing him because he's getting pressure from the fan base, from the media, to play him, not because he wants to play him. It's very weird. He made a comment about, people will say he needs to play more because he did this, this, and this when he came on, but they're not talking about the other 3 plays where he didn't do well. Something to that effect, he said. And I'm just like, dude, what are you talking about?
There's 2 ways to look at that.
We've seen Gakpo go 2-3 months in a row.
Yeah.
Just be completely useless.
Yeah. And I had a thought yesterday too, when Ekitike was subbed off and he kept Gakpo on. And I'm just thinking, Slot's stubborn. Number one, he's stubborn. But look, is there any possibility that he looks at it as though this is a kid, so he doesn't have the same amount of respect for him that he does compared to like a Van Dijk? Like, he wouldn't take down Van Dijk in public. He wouldn't say, Van Dijk didn't do this very well. He wouldn't say that about Szoboszlai. He wouldn't even say that about Wirtz necessarily. But since this kid's 17, he might say in the media, like, he did this, and this wrong. Look at Kwanzaa. He ripped Kwanzaa. Like, there's certain players he doesn't mind ripping in the media, which I don't respect that from a coach. But at the same time, maybe it's a tactic he's using. Maybe it's a tactic of like, hey, I'm trying to motivate these young guys, at least, that are still developing their game, that aren't stuck in their ways. You got to do this better. And you'll be a consistent starter. But either way, I think Rio should be playing more. The other argument to be made is Rio doing what Chiesa did, where Chiesa came on whenever he got minutes, made a difference, made an impact, and then as soon as Slot started him, can't remember if it was a cup game or whatever, started him, he was ass. And so I don't know if maybe Rio is only good coming on later in the game because you got the other team with tired legs and you got this young 17-year-old who's explosive and taking on tired defenders. It might be much different if you put him in and you start him. So that's something to think about too. I'm not trying to be negative with it because he is a good player, but I also agree with you. I don't like how if that's what he's saying, I don't like how he's handling that situation.
So, Alor, just to circle back to our point in the beginning and how I wasn't like overly pleased and the numbers tell a different story. West Ham had a higher expected goal count yesterday. I've looked at two different sources. One says we had 1.73, they had 1.83. Another one said we had like 1.8 and they had 2.1 or something. But like, I like that stat. It doesn't paint the clearest picture always. Because if you get two really clear-cut chances and you sky them both over the bar, like that could be an expected goal value of like 1.7. But you were dominated the whole match. You know?
Well, how many chances did West Ham have yesterday where Souček skied it over the bar or Diouf or whatever the hell that left back's name? He had like 5 crosses that you would have thought I was crossing it into the box. It went way over or went out of bounds. I was like, this guy sucks. I don't even know if he was shooting.
You have no left foot.
I have none. You know who else doesn't have a right foot is Kirkej. There was one, I laughed my ass off. There was one point yesterday where Kirkej found himself in like the middle channel and he had to make a pass with his right foot. And it was the worst pass I'd ever seen. It was out to Salah, I think. And it was such a slow rolling ball. The defender just casually kind of took it away. And Salah didn't even go for it. I just needed to point that out. But I do not have a left foot. That's confirmed. And going back to the expected goals thing too, Allison kept us in that game, dude. He had 2 incredible saves yesterday that I can remember. 2 really incredible ones. One where he tipped it over the bar. It's like just a reflex save. And then another one in the first half where it like hit his thigh. It was just good positioning. But those are goals. Any other keeper, those are goals. So there's 4 goals right there. Not to mention every other chance they had. But they only had 10 shots.
Well, their keeper had a handful of saves as well. And like the goals we scored, they weren't like Van Dijk's header, like nobody's saving that.
No.
McAllister's rocket, like nobody's saving that. The own goal, they weren't excellent goals. Don't get me wrong, like I love the finish from McAllister. I love Van Dijk's header, but we expect that from him. The Frimpong one, yeah, it's an own goal, but like he made that happen. And then what were the other 2? Gakpo's was like a deflection, I think. And
yeah.
Then there was
McAllister and Ekitike.
Ekitike, the first one. Ekitike's good finish, but like not by any means something to write home about. None of those were great. The game was
McAllister's goal was nice. McAllister's goal, that was a great set piece team goal. That was a great goal.
It was, but what I'm saying is like none of those were really like savable. They were all like either deflected or like point blank range or blasted. I mean, the Ekitike one, I guess the guy could have saved it, but I wasn't overly impressed with the 5 that we scored. I would have liked to see just like better goals.
Oh my God. That's such an annoying stance to take because when we haven't scored 5 goals.
No, I'm happy that we scored 5 goals. I'm happy. But Gakpo's was deflected. There was an own goal in there.
Yeah. Well, here's the other argument too.
We didn't dominate. We didn't dominate. The scoreline tells a totally different story than reality.
No. We dominated the game in the sense that 1, 5 goals, but 2, you can't have those types of goals that you're saying that aren't savable unless you're in dangerous areas. And we don't get into dangerous areas that often. So in that sense, I think you can look at it as, oh, we did dominate. We were able to get into dangerous areas against a team who was still sitting deep. Now, you could argue West Ham is not a good defending team if their best defender is Mavropanos, right? And that's fine. You can argue that. But I also still think that we've struggled against bottom sides all year. So I still like the result yesterday. I just hope we can keep it going, man. We got two more winnable games coming up. Where's that table at? There we go. Who we got? Oh, what are we looking at here, Steve? What is this?
Oh, this is a break. I didn't even know my screen was still on. This is like a breakdown of stats, team stats, saves, fouls, corners. It's just FBref.
We'll break it down for us.
Look at it. I don't think there's anything else to look at. I was just curious about saves because you had mentioned Allison. 3 out of 4 for him, and then 2 out of 7.
Yeah.
For the other guy, whoever that is.
JD Quinn asks, if you swap the coaches, what would the result have been? Say with Nuno, we win much easier. Huh? If we swap the coaches.
Yeah. I understand. Wait, so Ekatika had 2 assists yesterday?
Yeah, he did. He had the McAllister assist, and then he had the assist for Gakpo.
Damn.
I think it was Gakpo. Dude, he's good. He's really good, and he's fast. I didn't realize how fast he was.
Yeah, he can move.
Oh my God. So if we swapped coaches, I don't know. All I know is Nuno he is terrible. Everywhere he's been since Wolves, he's been awful.
I mean,
I used to think he was a good coach. I really did. I used to, like, when he was at Wolves, I was like, this guy might be the next guy. And he was at Tottenham. Where was he at? Forest? And now he's at West Ham.
He went to Forest. He did pretty well at Forest for a bit, and then he had a falling out with the owner. He went to Saudi.
So, this is what I'm saying. He's
West Ham doesn't have a choice. Like, they're battling relegation. They need a guy that, like, understands the league and is, like, serviceable. So I think he's a good guy for this job. But what he's saying here, what JD's saying here is like, and this is something that I said when you were on your deathbed a couple weeks ago.
I'm alive.
Do we really believe that other managers wouldn't do just as good as what Slot's doing? Or
yeah.
If you give Nuno this group of players, that game could look different. I don't know. I get what you're saying, JD. I don't know, but
I don't know. I hate living in these hypotheticals, though. Like, I hate saying, oh, if we had this coach, what would have happened? We won the game. We won the game 5-2 against West Ham. And I don't care. I don't care if you put Slot as West Ham's manager. I don't know. I don't care if you put Pep as West Ham's manager. I don't think they win that game. I mean, they have Jared Bowen as their best player now. They're not the same as they were under like David Moyes. Like, that West Ham was good. They were challenging, and then they just fell off.
They won the Conference League.
Yeah, they're just not the same. I mean, and I couldn't even tell you. Like, I mean, they have some of the same players. I mean, Souček is still there. You got Jared Bowen still there, but. Like,
they just got Traore.
They got Traore.
Somerville's been solid-ish for them. Wan-Bissaka can play.
Wan-Bissaka was a good pickup, but
Disasi
again,
from Chelsea.
Yeah.
But who did they let go of last year that was big for them? Was it Kudus?
Where did he go? Tottenham? Oh, Tottenham.
I think he's at Tottenham. Was he at West Ham?
Yeah, he was. Kudus left, and then. Remember, Mikel Antonio for a while was always good for them. He always was. And then, God, dude, who else did they have? Oh, Paqueta's out, isn't he? Paqueta's injured. That might be a big part of it.
Yeah, who did they get rid of? I'm going to look to see.
They didn't sell Paqueta. I think Paqueta might be. Maybe they did sell Paqueta. I can't even remember. But they I don't know. They're just not performing up to what they've been doing. Aylor
paid 20
says
million for that
the
keeper
Premier
from
League
Leicester.
is the toughest league in the world by far. Wolves, dead last in the league, beat Aston Villa on Friday 2-0, and Villa is third. Yeah, that one lost me some money. Not a lot, like $1, but it
Do
is
they
the
have
toughest
Callum
league.
Wilson and Kyle Walker-Peters as well?
Walker Peters sounds familiar. Do they have Callum Wilson?
It looks like they got him from Newcastle on a free transfer. I feel like we
Shoot.
saw him last time.
I don't know. Look, West Ham won't get relegated. I don't see it happening. They won't. And if they do, that'll be the craziest. That'll be like if it's pretty similar to how Everton were fighting relegation either last year or 2 years ago. It's kind of the same thing. You have a mid-table team with good enough talent to where they should be mid-table and they're just not performing. And that's what's going on at West Ham. I don't understand how they're doing as poorly as they are, but that's where they're at. That's where they're at.
Did you see the Burnley match yesterday?
I did not watch the Burnley match yesterday, no.
I actually turned it off after this happened because I figured that was it, but it was like 4-3 versus Brentford. Oh, yeah. They scored, and then they called a handball. So Burnley tied it up in literally a minute 30 past the end of extra time. I think it was Barnes. Forget the guy's first name. He's been there forever. Hasn't scored in like 4 years.
Yeah.
They put in a deep ball, comes in, because we need Brentford to lose. So that's why I was like paying attention to it. Brentford's like right on our heels. Our numbers in Brentford's this year are like identical.
It's crazy.
Almost for points, goal differential, goals for, goals against. All that's pretty close. But, dude, they scored and tied it up in like the 98th minute, but there was only supposed to be like 6 minutes of extra time. And then they said it was a handball. They said that he took it down with his hand. I literally thought it like hit his body and then his arm like inadvertent. I don't think his hand was in like an unnatural position. It was close. But yeah, they got their hearts ripped out at the end. And the reason I bring that up is because I think it's important for us to look at who's around us in the table at this point. We've got about 10 minutes left here. Brentford's there. They let up 3 goals against Burnley. They squeaked that one out. But can you pull up the table?
We're in 5th, and then what does Chelsea play today?
I think Chelsea and United still haven't played yet. They have a game in hand. Aston Villa is just... They're going to slide soon. I've been calling it for 2 months, and they're still hanging on. But, dude, their goal differential is like 8. Like, they've scored like 35 goals. 38 goals.
Yeah, 38 goals. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's crazy. Well, they have a good manager, so they can squeak wins out. But, like, I'm just surprised that they're, like, up here with those numbers.
What the hell is... I didn't click on that.
Already scored?
They just scored, I guess. This is weird. This is all delayed. But, well, I mean, look at this. I mean, Igor Thiago for Brentford, this is why they're where they're at. If you have someone scoring 18 goals, you know?
Yeah, I don't even think he's that good. That blows my mind.
Well, look at it.
It's like
it
a
must
Chris
be
Wood
the
scenario. It just makes no sense.
It must be the system they play, because what was the dude that got in trouble for betting and now he's in Saudi that played for Brentford? What was his name? I can't remember his name. The striker.
Tony?
Yes, same thing for Tony. Tony was the exact same situation. So yeah, we're looking at Brentford 43 points. Okay, I'm not too worried about that with 43 points. But United, I can see United losing to Crystal Palace. 100% can see him losing to Crystal Palace. And with that loss, that would be big. Yep. Okay, that would be really, really big. Because if they lose by more than... We jump them if they lose by more than 2 goals. Or more than 1 goal. I guess based on goal. Yeah, I guess based on goal differential. And then Chelsea, I think, what does Chelsea play tomorrow?
They might play today. I don't know. But Ivan Toney has more goals this year in the Saudi Pro League than he has starts.
That kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
man.
look, another thing too, that we haven't touched on. I know the table it is what it is, but we jumped ahead. The Champions League draw. We got Galatasaray, bro. Galatasaray, and I also saw a video that I wanted to talk about that looked at the weighting of each side of the bracket and how on our side you have Madrid, City, Chelsea, us, and I think one other team, all of which have won the Champions League within the last 10 years. So maybe it was just those four on one side of the bracket. On the other side, it's Barcelona and a bunch of other teams that have never won it. So they've placed, and I don't, this is just me wanting to be a conspiracy theorist, but they weighted it so that the teams that reach the final, one is going to be like a pedigree Champions League, European Cup team. And it seems like the other's either going to be Barcelona or a team that's never won it before. So I don't know. I feel like it should have been a little bit more evenly distributed, but you got like Sporting is going up against some, can't even remember who it is, some like no-name team. And then you got Atletico against Tottenham. You got Arsenal against Leverkusen. Yep. And then I'm trying to remember who Barcelona plays. Can't remember who Barcelona plays. And then City against Madrid. That'll be a good draw. Us against Galatasaray. Every year. This is what I'm saying. Like, and then Bayern play. Oh, it was Bayern. Bayern was the other team. Again, it's just set up to where the better teams have a harder road. So it'll make for good football, right? It's good for the
random.
It's apparently, I feel like it might be, or it's determined based on. I know they changed the format 2 years ago, or maybe this year. I think it was 2 years ago, but they do it now where it's like based on your points, you get like a bye or whatever, and then if you fall into the second tier, there's a play-in, and I don't know if that determines who you play or where you're positioned, because it might, and if it does, then that would make sense as to why one side of the bracket is the way it is. But I feel like once you get your opponent, they should randomize where you are, if they don't already.
It looks like...
Oh, Newcastle plays Barcelona. I think that's what it is.
So, by the way, Arsenal and Chelsea are today at 11:30. That's a
good game.
Interesting one. I can't tell if it's random, but it looks like if you're seeded 1 through 8 from the group stages, or that whatever the initial stage is called now, you get to play the second leg at home.
Okay.
Seeded teams play the second leg of the round of 16 at home.
So that would be us. Okay. Something to keep in mind, too, we lost to Galatasaray away. So kind of an interesting one. But we play, if we win, we play, tell me who we play.
Oh, geez, I don't have it.
It's not Madrid. It's not Madrid or City, but I think it's
PSG or Chelsea.
That's what it is. Okay. So we'll probably end up playing PSG.
And then, so we got Bayern Munich and Atalanta on our side, Real Madrid versus City, us versus Galatasaray, PSG versus Chelsea. The other side is Newcastle, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham, Bodo Glimt, Sporting, and Leverkusen, Arsenal. I mean, it's lopsided. It definitely
Bro, it's so lopsided.
I mean, yeah, well, Arsenal and Barcelona, Atletico Madrid can always make somewhat of a splash. They can be tough, And then Tottenham, Glint, Sporting, ass. Newcastle has been kind of solid, though.
Yeah, you want to know something funny?
Anthony Gordon has the most goals in Champions League this year. I mean, he's got 10.
Let me hit you with something. Hold on.
Insane.
Italy, absent, except Atalanta, I guess. Damn it. But my point is you got one from Italy, one from Germany, one from France.
2 from Germany.
And then who's the other one from?
In Bayern.
Oh, fuck, stupid Leverkusen. Okay. But then it's just so heavily dominated with Premier League and then, I mean, I guess Spanish, but it's just like, I don't know. And then you got random Portugal. And where's the team that Sporting's playing? Where are they from? Norway?
I have no idea. Bodo.
It's not Young Boys, is it?
No, Bodo Glimt. I don't even know how to say that.
Where the hell are they from?
They're making a splash. I don't know. Let us know in the chat. I have no idea. But yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Premier League teams. Then we have 1, 2, 3 La Liga teams. Then you got the monsters from France and Germany in PSG and Bayern. Leverkusen. Sporting is Portugal.
Yeah.
Galatasaray, Turkey. And then who knows?
Yeah, it's
pretty. Yeah, more than half are from La Liga and the Premier League,
which
and then,
rightly
of course,
so.
PSG's there, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, look, rightly so. I mean, it's the most dominant league. It's the best league, or Premier League at least, and then you got La Liga. But I don't know. I just like criticizing it because I looked at the split of the bracket. I'm like, oh my god, one side of this bracket is so difficult, and then you got the other side, and it's like, damn, it's kind of I wouldn't say an easy road, but way easier.
I mean, the semifinals is going to be way better than the final. Like, it's going to be Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, and then it's going to be Barcelona versus maybe Arsenal, and then it's going to be either us or PSG versus, I mean, from that bottom left, it could be Real Madrid, City, or Bayern Munich.
I'm telling you right now.
It's going to be crazy semifinal round.
I'll tell you right now, the powers that be, they want Arsenal and Barcelona to have a rematch. You remember that matchup back when Neymar played for Barcelona? And it was like, Arsenal was up like 5-1? Was it Arsenal?
I have no idea, dude. I don't remember Arsenal doing shit in the.
That's my point. I think they blew it. I can't remember if that was Arsenal. God, was that Arsenal? I'm going to feel like an idiot if that wasn't Arsenal. But if it's Arsenal Barcelona, that's a big matchup. I know Arsenal haven't done anything European wise, but that's a big matchup. And then
it's going to be a team that's really solid in Arsenal versus Barcelona, who just they have star power. They got players that can just do anything. Like Yamal specifically. Like, he could just win that game on his own. Or he could ghost completely.
Yeah.
Arsenal are a better team. I think they're
you're right. Don't back off.
Stable.
Don't back off. They are a better team. They are.
Team-wise, they're tough to beat. But Barcelona's just got star power. They've got this pedigree in the Champions League. I mean, we haven't seen it a ton lately, but anyways.
Look, my closing thoughts, I called it.
People.
Norway called that shit. No idea who this team is. Called that.
I mean, they got matched up with Sporting.
Well, that's my point.
You're telling me that this isn't fixed?
Thank you. They looked at all these teams. They said, all right, well, who are we going to match up the Fishing Village team from Norway with? Barcelona? No. We're going to put them against Sporting. It was either them or Leverkusen.
Or Atalanta, maybe. I mean, Galatasaray, they're not.
They beat us.
They beat us already.
They beat us.
They beat us. They're comfortably sitting in first in Turkey. Above Fenerbahce, Trabzonspor, Besiktas. There's decent teams over there. There's some competition over there. The league itself isn't great, but they already beat us. Like, I don't want to look past them, but it's 2 legs. So I'm looking past them.
You never know.
You know what I mean?
Anything never know
on a given night, but they have to play against our world-class players for over 200 minutes. There's no way we don't come out on top. And that second leg is going to be rocking at Anfield. I'm not worried about the first round. Second round, you get matched up with PSG. They have a great manager. They haven't been as good this year, but they're good. They're still PSG. Good. They just won it.
Yeah, I'm giving PSG a lot more credit than I did last year or the year before, because I used to think they just bottled it. They weren't good in Europe. Last year, they were excellent. They're very good.
So Enrique. It's very simple.
They're very good.
He's a really, really good manager.
Yep, absolutely.
I would love to have him here.
So, Steve, closing thoughts, man.
I got nothing. Not a ton to talk about today. I mean, we got 2 easy-ish games coming up in the league. We got to win those. Got to win those, get a little bit of breathing room, get comfortably in the top 4, watch Aston Villa start to slide. United and Chelsea, they're still going to be volatile all year. If we can just be somewhat consistent, we're good. Not worried. And then I think we're going to destroy Galatasaray over 2 legs. That's all I got.
There we go. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Shout out to the Reds for 2 back-to-back wins. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate your input. And until next time, Reds, take care.